Hello everyone. Welcome back to Global Senior Life. If this is your first time visiting the channel, don't forget to like and subscribe to avoid missing out on useful health information. Today, we will learn about 8 extremely toxic vegetables that the elderly should stay away from to protect their health. There are vegetables that seem harmless but have the potential to cause serious illness. Watch until the end of the video to find out which vegetables they are. 1. Amaranth left overnight. Amaranth is a popular vegetable in many meals, especially in rural areas. However, leaving amaranth overnight and then reusing it can have a negative impact on health, especially for the elderly. Amaranth left overnight, especially when cooked, can be contaminated with bacteria and mold. If these agents are not handled properly, they can easily develop and produce toxins that can cause food poisoning. For the elderly, the immune system is weak and the ability to absorb nutrients is reduced, making them vulnerable to these bacteria. In addition, amaranth also contains oxalates, which when stored improperly can increase the accumulation of these substances in the body, causing kidney problems, especially for people with a history of kidney disease. Therefore, the elderly should avoid eating amaranth overnight to protect their health and prevent unwanted diseases. 2. Water spinach contaminated with chemicals. Spinach is a popular vegetable in many family meals, but if contaminated with chemicals such as pesticides, chemical fertilizers or other toxic substances, it can seriously affect health, especially for the elderly. Elderly people have weak immune systems and their bodies often react slowly to toxins, making them susceptible to poisoning or long-term health problems. Toxic substances in water spinach can cause digestive disorders, allergies, and increase the risk of liver and kidney diseases. Chemicals can also accumulate in the body, affecting vital functions, reducing cardiovascular and neurological health. For the elderly, long-term exposure to these chemicals can lead to the risk of chronic diseases such as cancer, diabetes, and respiratory diseases. Therefore, choosing clean and safe vegetables for health is very important. 3. Bean sprouts of unknown origin. Bean sprouts of unknown origin can have negative effects on health, especially for the elderly. Bean sprouts are foods that are easily contaminated with bacteria and chemicals if not grown and preserved properly. The elderly have weak immune systems, are susceptible to disease, and have difficulty recovering. Bacteria such as Salmonella, E. coli, or molds can grow in bean sprouts if not washed or stored properly, leading to food poisoning. In addition, if bean sprouts are sprayed with pesticides or unsafe chemicals, the elderly may be poisoned, affecting cardiovascular health, digestion, and other chronic diseases. To avoid these risks, the elderly should choose to buy bean sprouts from a clear origin, ensuring food hygiene and safety. 4. Green tomatoes. Green, unripe, tomatoes contain a compound called solanine, which is a glycoalkaloid that can be toxic if consumed in large quantities. In particular, for the elderly, those with weak digestive and immune systems, green tomatoes can cause unpleasant symptoms such as nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, abdominal pain, and can increase the risk of infection or other health problems. Solanine can also affect the nervous system, causing dizziness, headaches, and in severe cases, can lead to coma. Therefore, the elderly should avoid eating green tomatoes or only eat them when they are fully cooked, to minimize the risk of poisoning. In addition, people with cardiovascular or kidney disease should also be careful because green tomatoes can increase the load on these organs. 5. Sprouted potatoes. Sprouted potatoes can have negative effects on health, especially for the elderly. When potatoes begin to sprout, they produce solanine, a highly toxic glycoalkaloid. Solanine can cause symptoms such as abdominal pain, vomiting, diarrhea, dizziness, and headaches. In people with weak immune systems, such as the elderly, the ability to tolerate these toxins is lower, increasing the risk of poisoning. In addition, sprouted potatoes are also susceptible to mold and harmful bacteria, increasing the risk of infection. To protect health, especially for the elderly, avoid eating potatoes that have sprouted or have green spots, and only consume fresh, clean, properly preserved potatoes. 6. Eating too much bitter melon. Bitter melon or bitter gourd is a food rich in vitamins and minerals, but when the elderly eat too much, they may experience some health problems. Bitter melon has the effect of lowering blood sugar, so if eaten too much, it can lead to a state of excessive hypoglycemia, especially for those who are taking diabetes medication. This can cause dizziness, fatigue, and even fainting. In addition, bitter melon can also cause digestive disorders such as abdominal pain, diarrhea, or bloating if eaten too much. Some studies have also shown that bitter melon can be harmful to the liver when consumed too much over a long period of time. For the elderly with weak immune systems or chronic diseases, eating bitter melon too often or in large quantities can cause unwanted side effects. Therefore, the elderly should eat bitter melon in moderation and consult a doctor before adding it to their daily diet. 7. Raw Malabar spinach. Malabar spinach is a very popular vegetable in Vietnam, but when eaten raw, especially for the elderly, it can cause some health problems. Malabar spinach contains some compounds such as saponins and alkaloids, which can irritate the stomach and digestive system if eaten too much or eaten raw. The elderly have a weak digestive system and are easily irritated by these substances, leading to abdominal pain, diarrhea, or indigestion. In addition, Malabar spinach also contains a small amount of toxins that can affect the liver if consumed in excess. Therefore, for the elderly, if they want to eat Malabar spinach, they should cook it to remove harmful substances and make the vegetable easier to digest. In addition, they should eat it in moderation to avoid negative effects on health. 8. Cassava shoots, cassava leaves. Cassava shoots or cassava leaves can have negative effects on the health of the elderly if not processed properly. Cassava leaves contain a toxin called cyanogenic glycosides, which when eaten without being cooked thoroughly, will be converted into cyanide, causing poisoning. This poisoning can lead to symptoms such as vomiting, difficulty breathing, respiratory failure, and even death if not treated promptly. Elderly people with weak resistance, prone to decreased body functions, especially cardiovascular and respiratory problems, will be more seriously affected. In addition, improper consumption of cassava shoots can increase the burden on the elderly's digestive system. Therefore, when processing cassava leaves, it is necessary to boil them thoroughly to remove toxic substances and minimize health risks. Thus, we have reviewed 8 extremely toxic vegetables that can be harmful to the health of the elderly. Be careful when choosing food for your grandparents and parents. If you find the video useful, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to update more useful information. Thank you for watching the video. See you in the next episodes.